Welcome to the NFC West, otherwise known as the division the Rams will win. Grossi Posse Packer Nation! Welcome to the episode of Packcast, the podcast where we're not a Packers fan, but it sure does help. I am your host, Tom Grossi, and today we finish up with the NFC by going west to the NFC West. Now, last year in 2018, the Rams skipped on over the competition and finished with a 13-3 record, finishing in first place, followed by the Seahawks finishing at 10-6, the 49ers 4-12, and the Cardinals at 3-13. So, let's take a gander at what's going to happen this year, or what we think is going to happen. Again, if you're brand new to predictions, what I do is I go through their entire schedule and look at the games that they're most likely going to lose or going to be the most challenging and try to predict a record from there. Obviously, it is only in early August, considering I recorded these all on August 11th and have just changed my shirt every single time because I'm going to be on vacation when you're watching this. Going to Disney World. But let's break it down, starting with the team that I think will finish in the fourth spot, and that will be the Arizona Cardinals. Now, a lot of this is going to depend on that offense, what Kyler Murray is able to do, also if David Johnson remains healthy. There's a lot of variables here, and they might wind up doing much better than how I have them projected. But based on what they've put together thus far through the draft, free agency, etc., I still think that this is the weakest team in the division. Now, where I see them having some problems, I think that the Lions are going to give them a bunch of problems, especially with that defensive line. The Ravens, the Panthers, I think they could be swept by the Seahawks, the Falcons, the Saints, and then you also have the Rams twice, the Steelers, the Browns, and hell, even the 49ers might beat them once or twice. So I see them anywhere between a 4-12 record. At best, maybe they go 6-10. Just based off of their schedule, which is not an easy one. When you're playing teams like the Steelers, the Rams twice, the Seahawks twice, the Falcons, the Saints, these are not easy games by any stretch of the imagination. So even if the Cardinals have improved from last year, they are still going to face a very difficult schedule, one that I think will have them finishing near the bottom of the division once again. Moving on to the number 3 team, a team that has gotten more and more hype as we've gotten close to the regular season, and they had a whole bunch of hype last year, and that is the San Francisco 49ers. And obviously there's a lot of hype because of Jimmy Garoppolo and what he brings. Obviously they brought Richard Sherman back last year, and of course you have Kittle over the middle, so they have some stuff to get excited about. Obviously getting Bosa, who is being heralded as this amazing defensive player, obviously performed incredibly well in college. But I still think that, again, within this division, they are going to probably finish third based on the division they're in and also based on their schedule. Because I see some difficult games against the Steelers, the Browns, the Rams twice, the Panthers, the Seahawks, the Packers, the Ravens, the Saints, and the Falcons. So even if they are able to split maybe with the Rams, which I don't think, or they're able to pick up wins against teams like the Browns or the Ravens, I see them finishing everywhere between 6-10 or 8-8, which I don't think is going to be enough to make the playoffs. Because again, this is just a very difficult schedule. Hell, they might even beat the Packers. They almost did last year. But again, this is going to be a difficult year for them to pull that off with this kind of schedule. Then going in at number 2, I see the Seattle Seahawks finishing this year with a winning record. But again, they do not have an easy schedule either. I see them facing a whole bunch of challenges against the Steelers. The Saints, they could be able to pull off a win with that, but they faced the Rams twice. Who knows? They might be able to pull off a win. And it's funny because a few years ago, the Rams would always sneak a win like away from the Seahawks because of their special teams. The Falcons, the Eagles are going to give them problems, and also the Panthers. So I think based off these games alone, if they lose all of them, they will go 9-7. They could squeak off wins against the Falcons. They could beat the Panthers, and they could beat the Eagles. So they could be an 11-5 team. But again, this is a pretty difficult schedule as well. So I see them anywhere between 11-5 and 9-7 through the season. And then finally, you have the LA Rams. Now, the Rams, they have a pretty decent schedule, and on top of that, they really don't have a ton of competition. So they are playing the Saints, which I think could go either way. The Seahawks, obviously, when they're playing them at home, could go either way. And then they have the Bears. All three of these teams, I think they can beat, but they will provide challenges, and I see them going around 13-3. So even if they lost all three of those, I don't think anyone within the division is going to give them a ton of problems besides maybe the Seahawks. And other than that, the Rams can kind of skate on past this season, and I think they will be contenders for home field advantage, just like the Saints will be for the NFC South. So I see the Rams being able to pick this up again and potentially even repeating their record from last year, or hell, even improving on it, considering that they weren't really happy how everything ended, scoring barely any points in the Super Bowl last year. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. I still think this is the Rams division to lose, but let me know if you believe otherwise. You can always find me at TomGrossiComedy.com or at TomGrossiComedy on all the social media you see down below. Check out podcasts on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, and of course here on YouTube and Spotify. And check out patreon.com/TomGrossiComedy for some cool rewards and to support me. Have a fantastic weekend. If you're seeing this, again, it's still Sunday, 8/11 when I'm recording this, but I will be back on that Tuesday, and I'm going to try to have videos come out by the time I get back still. So stay tuned for that. We'll be heading to the AFC next week. But thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi, and as always, go Pack Go.